What's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today we will be running down and reviewing the Gerber LMF II. Starting off, we're going to be looking at the blade of this knife, and that is going to be a 440 high carbon stainless steel, which is a really good steel, but it probably isn't my favorite. There are definitely much better steels out there. My opinion is that D2 is one of the best steels out there. I don't know why, I just really enjoy D2. I find it very easy to sharpen and it lasts quite a long time with the use I'm putting on my knives. By opening just parcels, cutting down boxes and opening packets of food here and there. I don't really use it for cutting open anything too crazy, but D2 is definitely my go-to steel. If a knife has D2, it's sold. The 440 high carbon is a good steel. It is high in carbon, which makes it a little bit tougher and a little bit more withstanding. It makes it stronger, and the heat treat on this steel is just amazing. It is probably one of my favorite heat treats on a steel of this price. It is for the time when I bought it, it was about $150. Recently it has gone up to about 210 Australian dollars, which I'm not sure why they've put the price up on it, because it isn't really a $200 knife, it's more of a $150 knife, but that's beside the point. It has a really nice belly on the blade, which is definitely something that I like. I like a knife, a fixed blade, to have a really nice belly so you can cut into things a lot easier. And it's got some really nice serrations. I wish that the serrations were just a little bit smaller, because in my opinion it is a little bit hard to cut with the serrations just because of the size of them. They feel like they're kind of chomping instead of cutting, and I know serrations are there to kind of chomp through things instead of getting a nice finer cut, but I just wish they were a little bit finer and just a little bit easier on the things that you're trying to cut. But they are good serrations. Because of that amazing steel, they don't blunt in very easily. Now going on to the handle, this is the same handle as a lot of the Gerber fixed blades, and that is going to be the glass filled nylon handle with it's got like a rubber texture over the top, which it's very grippy. It is definitely one of my favorite handles that Gerber ever did. I have used this with gloves on, and I've also used it when it's been raining and my hands have been sweaty, and I've had no issues. It is a very big knife, so it does slip around in your hand. You've got guards either side of the knife to stop your hand from slipping off, so it does help it quite a bit. If you spread your hand out a little bit while you're holding it, you can definitely fit your whole hand across it. But I just wish, I know this is very biased, I wish that they took like maybe ½ an inch off the handle just to make it fit more people's hands, because I can really squish my hand up to the top. I can fit my thumb and my pointer finger around it still. So it's definitely a massive handle. But again, if you have massive hands, it is perfect for you, because you can pick it up, it will fit your hand, and you will be able to slash and chomp and cut everything that you want. So there are lashing points on this knife, as well as a lanyard hole at the bottom. That was definitely something that I did like, is the fact that if you ever went camping and you needed to, you know, cut something off a tree, or you had to spear fishing with it, you could do that. Definitely something that you could do, and you can just do it for fun. Obviously, I don't encourage sticking a knife to an end of a pole. Also, on the pommel, it has a hammer side as well as a glass breaker. So just a heads up, if you're ever wanting to use the hammer or the pommel glass breaker, make sure you're using it with the sheath so you don't cut your hands open, so you can get a better grip of it when you're trying to use it either way, just to prevent, you know, accidentally putting your hand onto the knife and slicing your hand open. The only problem that I have found with this knife that is a big, not a really big issue, but something that I did kind of find annoying, is the fact that around the top where it goes from the handle to the blade, they made it a rubber molding. So when you put it into the sheath, it is a very tight fit as well as coming out, and it actually starts to peel back the rubber molding that kind of connects to the blade. So that was just one of the issues that I did find, and I have learned to just live with it because it is just kind of a cheap fixed blade. Going on to the sheath, this is a drop down sheath. Usually there's a drop down piece on here and 2 leg straps. I took those off because I use this as more of a backpack knife if I'm to go camping or hiking or whatever. It's a backpack knife. It's not a on the leg or, you know, drop down the leg type of knife. It's too big and bulky and heavy and awkward to be carrying it like that. And it is still kind of annoying to have in a backpack because you can definitely feel the weight of it, as it is a very, very heavy knife. It does have a field sharpener, which in my opinion, these are pretty terrible. They aren't my favorite, and this one doesn't do very much for the knife when you're trying to sharpen it. But it is nice that they put it on there and they at least gave you something to be able to sharpen your knife in the field. Just a heads up, if you are taking it into the field, bring a field sharpening kit with you just so you don't blunt in the blade and then you're stuck with a blunt, terrible knife. So when I first bought this knife, I would have thought that a knife of this size and build would have had a full tang blade. This is a partial tanged knife. Keep that in mind. It is not a full tang. So apparently the design of this knife is designed by a ex-military person who wanted a knife that could withstand a lot, could be used continuously and not blunted very quickly, was big and heavy and tactical, and would be able to go into a fight and withstand a fight. I feel like they reached that purpose, especially with this knife. I highly recommend this knife to anyone who's going out camping or going out hunting or anything that involves a very physically demanding job. I feel like this would be the knife, or the Gerber strong arm. They're both amazing knives, both made for a very specific purpose. And I honestly would recommend the strong arm a little bit more than the LMF II because the strong arm just has a better handle, a better grip, and it just feels more of a knife than the LMF II because this just feels a little bit too much of a knife. I know you should never say that because too much is better, but when you're going hunting or camping or hiking, that extra little bit of weight can definitely be felt in your backpack. So I would prefer the strong arm over the LMF II. I have to admit the LMF II holds a very, very, very special place in my collection just due to the fact of how big and how tough of a knife it is. Alright guys, that was just a quick rundown and review of the LMF II. It is a very old knife. It has been around since the dawn of time from Gerber, and it is still one of their best. Definitely one of their best knives, and I feel like if they keep bringing out more like the LMF II, instead of these newer, fancier looking designs, I feel like I would start buying Gerber again. But I feel like Gerber is now heading in a new, different direction, and I'm kind of interested to see where they go. But for now, I'm going to be sticking with more Benchmade Bocar SE knives, just because they fit more of my price point, and I feel like they're a little bit more higher end, more of a better choice for what I want to be carrying and using them for. That is going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative to anyone that wanted to know about the Gerber LMF II. Drop a comment down below what you think of the video, and make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video, and I will catch you guys in 2 weeks. See you then.
Fly with the stars, I'm free. Party all day.